arms.
Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. Arms. Post. Color. About face.
Thank you. Please remain standing. Tonight, it is extremely important that we recognize the sacrifice of those who have come before us. Yesterday in Emmitsburg, 2 of our UFA family were honored, and their names included on the memorial wall at the National Fire Academy. Captain Merrill Bone and Captain Robin Pilcher both suffered from illnesses attributed to their work in the response to the 9/11 terrorist attacks. Let's please honor them, their families, and all other past UFA firefighters who have passed away regardless of the reason. Their dedication and contributions to the organization have helped shape who we are today. Please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. Thank you. You may be seated. It is now my distinct honor to introduce the Chief of the Unified Fire Authority, Fire Chief Dominic Burchett.
Well, thanks, Wade, for that, those kind words and that introduction. I also want to thank the Pipes and Drums and Honor Guard for their continuous involvement in these celebrations. Many of them, as Wade spoke about the weekend in Emmitsburg, were literally just got off the airplane from their service there. Watching them work this weekend made me so proud. They were part of a group of about 150 other drummers, pipers, and honor guard members that were there to represent the lost fallen firefighters. What they do is so meaningful for celebrations like tonight, and also paying tribute to the those that have been lost before us. This might be the best opportunity I have to put in a shameless plug for that group, but if you're at all interested, especially those of you getting promoted, in being involved in that, now's the chance. So please get involved in that if you can. It's amazing what they can do. I also really quickly want to thank the Jordan School District again. We tend to come back here for our larger ceremonies. This facility works out really, really well for us, and the partnership we have with them is fantastic, so thank you. Tonight, we're going to be doing our new promotional format. So we used to do them every month, and we decided to get a larger group like this. We wanted to do it quarterly. So there's 16 people getting promoted. Some of them have been officially promoted for months, some of them most recently, but we're celebrating you tonight. And really the intent is that you feel special, you feel honored, and that we recognize you appropriately and do something for your families as well. So hopefully we can achieve that, and hopefully tonight is something that you will remember for a while. So like I said, we're promoting 16 people, and that gives us a lot to celebrate, a lot to recognize tonight. But what I want to remind everybody is that is just a small snapshot of what we're doing every day at UFA. As a professional fire department, we're doing amazing things every day. And a lot of times those acts of kindness, those acts of bravery are done without any recognition, without social media, without a pat on the back, or without even a thank you. So that is why, to me, it's the biggest honor to be the fire chief of such a great organization, is because I know that work is happening every day without recognition, and that's why you're here to do your job. To see so many people getting promoted tonight is pretty exciting. I know that you are the ones going to be driving forward our mission and continue to make UFA a better place for those of us that follow. So I want to thank you personally, all 16 of you, for putting in the time and the effort and the commitment to be sitting here today. It's not easy work. And like Wade said, thank all of your families. I mean, just take a second and turn around. This place is full for you. I promise they're not here to hear me talk. They're here to support you. And remember that without them, you probably wouldn't be sitting there. So the positions that we're looking at promoting today or recognizing are engineer, paramedic captain, and division chief. And these are all similar in the sense that they're critical to our overall mission. And they're all similar in that they have the same expectations from me as the fire chief. And so what I want to do is I want to share my expectations with you as you embark on this new role. The first expectation that I want is for you to be purposeful in your career, not just for promotion, but for your entire career. So think about where you want to be at retirement. Think about what badge you want to be wearing. Think about how many pins you want on your shoulder. Think about, more importantly, whose lives did you make better and who did you mentor and train? The most important piece of that is being that you can retire financially and physically and mentally healthy enough to enjoy that retirement. So everything between now and that date of retirement should get you closer to that goal and not further from that goal. So be purposeful every day. My second expectation is to take care of yourself, take care of your families, and take care of the people working alongside of you. So with, obviously, the challenging nature of our job, it's easy to overlook the importance of self-care, taking care of yourself. You can't effectively take care of others if you can't take care of yourself. So that, again, I'm going to remind you that at UFA, we're focusing on an approach of holistic health and wellness. We're putting in programs in place to help achieve this goal, but it's up to you to use those resources. It's up to you to own the responsibility of your own wellness. And we're lucky to have a culture changing right now. where today it is okay to ask for help. It is okay to ask others if they need help. And it's absolutely okay to use the resources that we have in place, so please do so. My third expectation is to always remember why you're here and what got you here in the first place. And I'm gonna take a guess, but I think most of you got into this profession because you wanted to help people, because you wanted to make a difference. It's easy sometimes to lose sight of this, and we forget that we're here for the communities we serve. So please always remember who you work for and why we sacrifice what we do. In my mind, it's quite simply to serve other people and make a difference. My last expectation is to find and train your replacement. So every position being recognized today, you're not the first and you're not going to be the last promoted into this position. So you always need to be looking for opportunities to train and find your replacement. So whether it's the paramedics taking a little time on the call to explain what you did or why you did it or your thought process, or maybe it's these engineers now grabbing a firefighter and walking through the checkoff with them, letting them drive the fire engine to the grocery store, throw some calculations on the board and let them work through them with you. And as the captains, finding your informal leader and finding people that want to come and emulate you and work through their task book with them. You have the opportunity, you're given the opportunity to hone your skills, to become experts at your craft, but you have the obligation to share that with others. So I think we should always be looking to mentor others, and we should always be looking at who we want to mentor, be mentored by, rather. If we can all get into this idea, bought into this idea, I think that this will help move our organization faster forward. The one thing I do know is it's a long career, but it will fly by if you let it. So take every opportunity you can to be that person that you want to be at retirement. If you sit back and wait, it'll pass you by. And I think during promotion, it's a good time to reflect on this and make sure that you are in the driver's seat to your future. Thank you for your willingness to serve. Thank you for your willingness to put yourself out there. I am truly inspired by each and every one of you for the work that you've already accomplished, and I'm grateful to be your fire chief. As you step into your new roles of leadership and responsibility, I have no doubt that you will continue to uphold the mission, the vision, and the values that make our fire service truly exceptional. So thank you again. I can't wait to give you your badge. With that, Chief Dern is going to say a few words and introduce the candidates. Chief Dern.
Good evening. My name is Dustin Dern. I'm the Assistant Chief of Emergency Services, and I'm just going to take the opportunity this evening to, before Chief Burchett swears in these individuals, just to speak a little bit about each position. Turns out this podium's a little farther away. I needed some readers, but Chris Thurman, do you have any I could borrow? We'll start with engineers. So engineers play a critical role in ensuring the effectiveness and safety during incident response and emergency operations for our organization. They're responsible for maintaining and inspecting various operational equipment and apparatus. Their diligence ensures that equipment is in optimal condition when it's needed. Let's try these out. Nope, that doesn't work. They are tasked with driving the operations fire apparatus and other emergency vehicles to and from the scenes. Their expertise in vehicle operations is crucial for navigating the safely through traffic and arriving at the scene quickly. They literally have their crew's lives in their hands. Engineers are trained in all of our apparatus and how to use them. They ensure that adequate water supply is available for structure fires, and at times they manage complex fire suppression hose lays, position aerial apparatus, and use those aerial apparatus to effect rescues. They also provide a wide range of incident support, For those of you that have never been on a structure fire, you can always rely on the engineer to get you whatever you need when you come out of the house fire. Whether it's a cold Gatorade, a bottle of water, or just to dust the insulation off your head and get you a fresh SCBA bottle. So overall, engineers are integral members of our team, contributing their technical expertise, operational skills, and commitment to protect the lives and property of our community. So with that, I'll call up the engineers being promoted. If you'll just line up here in front of the table, and Chief Burchett will swear you in. So Engineer Brett Call, Engineer Zachary Davis, Engineer Madison Fivas, Engineer Chandler Kingsbury, Engineer Andrew Pinto, and Engineer Cameron Snyder. And then once Chief Burchett swears in the engineers, if the family members and significant others that'll be pinning the badges on, if you'll just come up and we'll do one at a time.
You ready? Okay. You have been chosen by virtue of your background, training, and personal qualities to be an engineer for Unified Fire Authority. Your behaviors, decisions, and actions while on and off duty directly reflect the image of Unified Fire Authority, its personnel, and the quality of service that UFA provides to the citizens we serve. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I,
Do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will uphold the vision,
that I will uphold the vision,
mission,
mission,
values, and policies
values, and policies
adopted by Unified Fire Authority.
adopted by Unified Fire Authority.
I will act for the good of the communities of which I serve.
I will act for the good of the communities for which I serve.
I will strive for excellence
I will strive for excellence
while I faithfully,
while I faithfully, honestly,
and ethically perform
and ethically perform
the duties of engineer with Unified Fire Authority.
the duties of engineer with Unified Fire Authority.
You are now duly affirmed. Congratulations. Brett's lovely lady can come up.
So we can just have all the significant others or family members that are going to be pinning badges on come on up and stand by who's getting promoted, and we'll do one at a time.
And Zach. Nice. Chandler. And Cameron. Thank you, sir. Okay. Yeah.
How about one more round of applause for all our newly promoted engineers? All right, next up is our paramedics. I'm just going to briefly touch on the importance of this position within our organization. About 80% of Unified Fire's authorities calls for service are medical in nature, and paramedics play a vital role in those medical emergency services deliveries. Paramedics are trained to provide advanced medical care in emergent situations. They respond to a wide range of medical emergencies, including heart attacks, strokes, traumatic injuries, and other life-threatening events. They are skilled in assessing patients' conditions and providing immediate medical interventions to stabilize them before and during transport to the hospital. This often involves advanced interventions like administering medications, IV access, advanced airway management, or pacing a sick heart. They work closely with other EMS agencies in the Valley, hospitals, and healthcare providers to ensure continuity of care and being a patient advocate. They collaborate with facilities for smooth transitions between pre-hospital care and hospital care. Paramedics are essential members of our emergency response, providing this advanced medical care, critical interventions as they compassionately support patients in their time of need. Their skills, expertise, and dedications contribute to saving lives and improving patient outcomes in our communities. With that, I'd like to call up Paramedic Jake Erickson, Paramedic Brian Helson, Paramedic Louis Schmoll, and Paramedic Aaron Wood.
You've been chosen by virtue of your background training and personal qualities to be a paramedic for Unified Fire Authority. Your behaviors, decisions, and actions while on and off duty directly reflect the image of Unified Fire Authority, its personnel, and the quality of service that UFA provides. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Jake Erickson,
Do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will uphold the vision,
that I will uphold the vision,
mission,
mission,
values, and policies
values, and policies
adopted by Unified Fire Authority.
adopted by Unified Fire Authority.
I will act for the good of the communities of which I serve.
I will act for the good of the communities which I serve.
I will strive for excellence
I will strive for excellence
while I faithfully,
honestly,
and ethically perform
and ethically perform
the duties of paramedic with Unified Fire Authority.
the duties of paramedic with Unified Fire Authority.
Congratulations.
We can have all the family members and significant others come up to pin badges again. Let's give our newly promoted paramedics a round of applause. Next up is our staff captain and captain's positions. These positions are crucial leadership positions within Unified Fire Authority. Their multifaceted role is essential for the overall operations. They're responsible for leading and managing a team by providing guidance, dedication, and supervision. They train and develop employees under their supervision to ensure proficiency and growth for each employee. They're responsible for various administrative tasks and handling personnel matters. Captains often serve as the initial incident commander at emergency scenes, coordinating the overall response efforts. They're trained to assess risk and make informed decisions to mitigate hazards during emergency responses. They prioritize the safety for both firefighters and the public while managing risks associated with fire suppression, rescue, and other activities. Captains oversee the maintenance, inspection, and readiness of firefighting equipment, apparatus, and their station. They also serve as the face of our department to the communities. They participate in community outreach programs, public education initiatives, fire prevention to raise awareness about fire safety, and emergency preparedness. Specifically related to the staff captain position being promoted this evening, this individual leads the Salt Lake County emergency management logistics needs and supply chain oversight. They work with the community and municipal partners to fulfill resource needs during incidents, and they work to oversee emergency coordination, facility maintenance, and assist in the readiness of that center. Both captains and staff captains, through their leadership, expertise, and dedication, contribute significantly to the mission, vision, and value of Unified Fire Authority and its commitment to serving our communities. So first up, we're going to do it a little different for the captains. We're going to have somebody come up and speak on behalf of the captains and staff captains. So to start out, Chief Ellis, if you'll come up and speak on behalf of Staff Captain Scott McNeil.
All right, this is my chance. Nobody loves the limelight more than Scott McNeil. Everybody knows that. So I'm going to be up here for a while. No, you can tell a lot about somebody based off what's written on their coffee cup. Scott's coffee cup says, "I hate people." In spirit of full disclosure, it's got a Sasquatch on it. So while the Sasquatch part is very true, he loves people more than anything. He loves hugs, especially from strangers. So please give him a hug if you can. No, it's ironic his coffee cup says that because I've never known anybody who gets more calls from his peers and fellow firefighters than Scotty. I don't know how many people he's talked off the ledge, who's comforted in a time of need, but that's who Scotty is. He's the most loyal guy I know, one of the best firefighters that I know, and he's a friend. He'll be one forever. So I'll keep it sweet and short just for you, Scotty.
Next up, we'll have Captain Matt Pulsifer speaking on behalf of Captain Richard Berry.
So this is my chance, Richard. All the mean things you've done to me over the years, payback time.
It was me.
So I get the great privilege and opportunity to introduce Richard. Richard came to me in 2017, October-ish. And he immediately made an impact on my crew. He is definitely the informal leader for our crew at 112, and he made an immediate impact. Some of you don't know, Richard was in the military, and he just completed his 20 years of service in the military. and retired this month. So congratulations on that also, Richard. Not only is Richard an incredible engineer, he's also an incredible family man, and he's got a beautiful family, wife, 3 kids, who he's an incredible father, and those kids are lucky to have him. Richard, one of the things Richard impacts he's made with the UFA over the years. Several years ago, we had a major fire up Parley's Canyon. Richard was the initial incident commander on that scene, and I believe he walked up to the Park City battalion chief, and they conferred, and they go, well, what should we do? And they decided that the battalion chief for Park City would take one division of the fire, and Richard would take the other. And from what I hear, it was quite the fire initially, and he did a great job. Richard will be missed at 112. I'll have a hard time replacing him, but I think I've done a good job in that already. So congratulations on your next endeavor, Richard. You'll do a great job. Also, I want you to know, when you come up and he receives his badge, look at him and see if you'll recognize him from a movie called The Incredibles, because he looks like Mr. Incredible, and I know he'll make an incredible impact with the UFA as a captain. Now I'd like to introduce, or have retired Captain John Slater come on up and introduce the next candidate.
Well, I'm here to speak about Nate Crump. I thought he would have more friends, but I'm here. So I'm John Slater, retired last year as a captain with Unified Fire Authority. And Nate Crump started as a seasonal employee on one of our wildland crews back in 2000. He was hired full-time in 2005, took over the hand crew in 2010 as the crew superintendent, and held that position for 5 years. He was promoted to engineer in 2015, and for the last 10 years has been part of the heavy rescue program. This promotion has brought him full circle back into the wildland program as one of our duty officers at Station 103. Over the years, I've had many opportunities to work for Nate Crump on details with the hand crew. This would usually involve him coaching me on proper use of BK radios, how not to roll a Type 6 engine, giving words of encouragement on proper fitness level of a full-time firefighter as we climbed a steep hill, crossed miles of ground to re-equip the crew with supplies. And as many of you who know Nate, he did this all with kind words and a smile. And aside from all the therapy, I've learned a lot from him. I think I even had fun at a time or two. But one day during the summer, it stands out above the rest. He and I hiked to an active fire line, and that's where Nate began to teach. We just stood there and observed fire behavior. He showed me which fuels were actually burning, what mechanisms were leading towards fire growth, how the current weather and topography were playing into what we were observing, how all this played out on what assignment on this fire that we were going to do, and what work we were going to accomplish that day, and what our plan for the next few days would be. That day he taught, mentored, and laid a foundation for my continued involvement in the wildland program. That path became the highlight of my fire career, and that day started with Nate Crump. To this day, he tells me exactly what I'm doing wrong. Most of it is on the golf course now. But UFA has made a solid investment in his decision to promote Nate. He's worked hard to get where he is today, and I know he will continue to teach, mentor, and be a valuable leader to the crews he works with. Nate Crump. Next up is Jeff Taylor.
So I have the honor of introducing Ira Jackson. We met back in, he hired on 05, and I didn't meet him back then, but I heard about this guy, Ira, and he was this engineer in 06, and I was working in Midvale, and he was over in Kearns. And I'm like, I need an engineer. heard about him, heard this nice guy. So I gave him a call. I'm like, hey, you want to come work for me over here in Midville? And he's like, let me think about it. That was his answer. So he decides to come over, and I'll tell you, he's like, just one person coming into the station just changes everything, right? And we had a crew that was kind of having some like quarrels with each other. And he came in and just turned it around and made us all happy, right? So that's just the kind of guy Ira is. He's just a happy guy. I don't know how many people have worked with him, but he's just by nature comes in and just smiles and makes you feel good. One day we're just driving down the road, and this is another characteristic of him. Like, he's just kind of a dad. Like, we're driving down the road, and these kids are on top of their truck driving down the road like they're going to fall off their car, making donuts in the parking lot. And so we pull up next to them, and they pull over, and Ira gets out of the car, and like, these kids are all terrified that he's going to get out and yell at them and Ira stands up and just comes over to him and looks at him, and he's like, hey man, what are you guys doing? And they're looking up like, oh no, we're going to get in trouble. And Ira just smiles and tells them like, hey, you're going to fall off and get hurt. We don't want you to get in trouble and be injured. And he's just smiling at them, and they apologize, and they get back in their car, and they're just like go on their merry way. And I was just like, that was awesome, Ira. Instead of getting mad at him and chastising him, he just gets up there and just like mentors them and is nice to them and just happily corrects their behavior. Like, Ira's just an awesome guy. I don't know how many people know, but Ira's a fixer. He's a builder. Like, at 104, there was a time when the hose just came off the back of the engine. And Ira comes into the station the next day, and he sees that the back of the engine is all bent. And so he just comes in with his come along, fixes it. Instead of like taking the engine out of service and sending it up to the logistics to get fixed, he just fixed it. No one asked him to. Ira's just a fixer. That's just one of his characteristics. There were like holes in the wall in the station, and Ira just come in off duty and fix it. It's just the kind of guy he was. He just sees things and wants to take care of it. I don't know how many people know, but he's also a poet. And I have a poem, but I decided I'm just going to pass on it tonight. But he's a poet. And so if you're ever at Station 104 and want to read one of his poems, just go up to the front of the station and read it. He's also a fabricator. So at the beginning of his career, he fabricated some like stands for the bottom of the fans and made them so that they would like stand on, like we could set them up so we could have positive pressure ventilation for our fires. I thought that was pretty cool that Ira just set that up on his own. And then he made the coffins for the top of the engines, which was pretty awesome. And he fabricated an engine for one of our former firefighters here. And he also made some sweet deal with them. I'm not sure what that was all about, but you can ask Ira about it. He's a family man. Like, I don't know how many of you know, but his son-in-law was a coach for the Navy. And he just fabricated this awesome chain, this big old gold bling Navy anchor thing, and took it over to him, and they passed it around as for the player of the game. And it's just the kind of guy Ira is. He didn't ask for anything for it. He just gave it to him and was just like, hey, here you go. Just because he loves his family. It's the kind of guy Ira is. So Ira, he's kind, he's compassionate, and he's just a good person. And I've been like so impressed with him throughout my whole career and been happy to know him. I've never heard him speak bad about anybody. And I'm just so excited to see Ira promote. And I couldn't be happier to introduce Ira Jackson to you guys. Next up, we have Captain Anderson.
Thanks, Bill. No, it's an honor. And it's an honor that Bill would ask me to get up here and say a little bit about him. Talk a little bit about Paramedic Bill Wimmer, and then introduce you to Captain Bill Wimmer. It's strange that I didn't know Bill for quite a few years when you worked here, probably 8 or 9 years. We didn't really cross paths, and we have the same hobbies, the same interests. We do the same stuff, and it's weird that it took us so long to become friends. You're a really good friend of mine, Bill, and I got to meet him really for the first time when I was working in fire training. Bill came out to help with one of the recruit classes that we did, and when I saw his name on the roster as a potential candidate to come out and teach, I got excited because I thought, oh, good, this guy's going to scare the shit out of these recruits, and I won't have to do anything because look at him. Turns out that's not the case. Don't tell Bill I told you, but he's kind of a big softy, and he instantly became the good cop. And so then it left me to have to yell at recruits still when I thought Bill was going to take care of it for me. Those kids in camp, and then one old guy, Dave Biddison, I'm pretty sure it was that camp, they worked their guts out for Bill. And not because he scared them, not because he intimidated them, but because they respect him. And he taught them a lot of good stuff. And I know he made some lifelong friends out of that recruit camp because one of them's me. And he still talks about some of those kids that we brought up through camp. After that, Bill and my friendship kind of took off. We started planning our yearly grocery shopping in the mountains together in the fall. And we'd plan trips in Utah, Idaho, Wyoming, Arizona, Alaska, and off we went. I learned more about Bill on some of those hunting trips. I learned he's quite capable to put an entire half of a full-grown bull elk inside of his backpack and do about 8 miles on a trail fueled only by frozen burritos that we cooked up on the back of the tailgate on a little barbecue. I watched him and Adam Webb come together right quickly to rebuild our Alaska moose camp after probably a grizzly bear decided to move in and make himself at home for a couple of days, eating all of our food, sleeping on our cots, tearing grizzly bear-sized holes in the side of the tents, and him and Adam just came together and rebuilt the whole camp like nothing had happened. Well, still smelled like bears, but we were fine for a week. I've seen Bill pack a lot of meat, and most of that meat is not his; it's for other people. I mean, this guy will work really hard for other people. He's just that kind of person. We finally got to get on the same crew together, what, 1.5 years ago or so, and it's been one of the highlights of my career. Station 16 has a park right next door to it, and we probably did hundreds and hundreds of laps just walking around the park. And if we would have had somebody following along, taking notes, it would help civilization so much because we solved every problem that the fire department has and probably a whole bunch of problems that the world has too. Right, Bill? Just nobody wrote it down. So, sorry. Call Bill. He remembers. I saw what kind of person he is on medical calls too. The way that he can talk to people at 2 a.m. and make sure that they know that they are the most important person in Bill's world at that moment. He's so comforting, and he's such a good listener. He's going to make a great captain. I'm so excited to watch him come up, and the way you listen to people, man, and the kind of support that you give other people, it's amazing, Bill. He doesn't give up easily. It took him 3 times, I think, on the promotional process to make it and get promoted. And selfishly, I kind of wish he would have given up because then we could just keep working together. But I'm really glad that he didn't give up. You're going to be great, Bill. I can't wait to watch what you do and to see how your career goes. One other thing, thank you so much for letting me in to your family. You've got a great family and a whole bunch of support. And anytime you need to chat or go do some laps in the park, call me up and I'll be there. And now I'd just like to introduce you to my friend, Captain Bill Wimmer.
Well, thanks to all the speakers that were speaking on behalf of our staff captain and captains being promoted this evening. So with that, I'll call you up and Chief Burchett will swear you in. First off, Staff Captain Scott McNeil, Captain Richard Berry, Captain Nate Crump, Captain Ira Jackson, Captain Bill Wimmer.
It'll be much harder on you guys. You have been chosen by virtue of your background, training, and personal qualities to be captain and staff captain for Unified Fire Authority. Your behaviors, decisions, and actions while on and off duty directly reflect the image of Unified Fire Authority, its personnel, and the quality of service that UFA provides to the citizens we serve. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I state your name.
Do solemnly affirm.
Do solemnly affirm
that I will uphold the vision, mission, values, and policies
that I will uphold the mission, vision, values, and policies
adopted by Unified Fire Authority.
adopted by Unified Fire Authority.
I will act for the good of the communities of which I serve.
I will act for the good of the communities in which I serve.
I will strive for excellence.
I will strive for excellence
While I faithfully, honestly, and ethically perform
while I faithfully, honestly, and ethically perform
the duties of captain and staff captain for Unified Fire Authority.
the duties of captain and staff captain for Unified Fire Authority.
Are you sure you're ready? You are duly affirmed.
Let's have friends and significant others and family members that have been in badges come on up.
Who's this?
I know we just did a round of applause, but we might as well do one more for this group. All right, last but not least, Deputy Director of Emergency Management, Chet Ellis. This position is key to the success of emergency management's mission by providing leadership within that division. Chet collaborates with a wide range of stakeholders, including government agencies, nonprofit organizations, businesses, and community groups. By fostering partnerships and building networks, Chet enhances the community's resilience and ability to respond to emergencies collectively. These plans help minimize disruptions for critical infrastructures within Salt Lake County, such as healthcare, transportation, utilities, and facilitate a swift recovery process. He also manages EMAC preparedness for the county, as well as the local incident management team. Ultimately, Chet's goal is to increase the resiliency and readiness for all man-made and natural disasters that may strike within Salt Lake County. With that, I'll ask Chief Fossum to come up and speak on behalf of Chief Chet Ellis.
All right. My name is Brett Fossum. I got bamboozled by Chet. He only pinned my badge. He didn't have to give a speech, but apparently he wanted me up here for a speech. The direction that was given was to keep it short and sweet, under 60 seconds. That direction came a couple hours ago. So after multiple rehearsals and a lot of scratch outs, I've got my speech down to 8 minutes and 33 seconds for Chet. I've known Chet for almost 40 years. We grew up together. There are a lot of stories that I thought of as he asked me to do this. Not a single one is appropriate for this audience. So I'm going to start with a life sketch. When Chet was 5 years old, he moved from Hawaii down to Provo, Utah. And the rest of it we'll catch up later. As far as Chet goes, I don't know an individual that does more to uphold the vision, mission, values of this organization. He does more to extend himself and to help the citizens and communities that we serve, more than most that I'm aware of. With that dedication, he has helped create the pipe and drum that we currently have, that both honors those that have gone before us, those that have died, those that have retired, and those that are currently serving within this organization. With that, I don't know of a single person that's more deserving of this promotion. So I'm very pleased to be a part of that ceremony, and congratulations, Chet.
Thank you, Chief Fossum. And with that, Chief Ellis, come on up. Chief Chet will swear you in.
You should have this memorized by now. So much pressure. Chet, you've been chosen by virtue of your background, training, and personal qualities to be a division chief for Unified Fire Authority. Your behaviors, decisions, and actions while on and off duty directly reflect the image of Unified Fire Authority, its personnel, and the quality of service that UFA provides to the citizens you serve. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Chet Ellis,
Do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will uphold the vision,
that I will uphold the vision,
mission,
mission,
values, and policies
values, and policies
adopted by Unified Fire Authority.
adopted by Unified Fire Authority.
I will act for the good of the communities of which I serve.
I will act for the good of communities for which I serve.
I will strive for excellence
I will strive for excellence
while I faithfully,
honestly,
honestly, and ethically perform
and ethically perform
the duties of Division Chief with Unified Fire Authority.
the duties of Division Chief with Unified Fire Authority.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna make him speak.
he's looking at me like, you better say something. So here I am. No, I really appreciate it. I mean, it's been a lot of work to get to 20 years, no matter what you do in this job. So I appreciate the recognition and that you have the faith in me to do the job. If there's one piece of advice I would give to everybody, and that I've learned works every time, is to just be kind and to be good to each other. This job is hard enough as it is. The last thing we need is to battle each other, hard feelings, hold on to resentment and things like that. So just be good to one another and be kind. Obviously, I'm not perfect, but I try really hard. So please forgive me if I've ever done anything unkind to you. I wish I had a badge to pin on my wife because she's earned it as much as I have. She sacrificed a lot, her aspirations, her career, for me and for us. So thank you. And that's all I got, Chief. Thank you.
Okay, well, that's the end of the ceremony, so I'll be brief with my closing remarks. I'm the only one standing between you all and those cookies and water back there. But just again, I want to reiterate how proud I am of all of you, and I'm honored to be standing here before you as your fire chief. I'm excited to see you succeed in your new roles, and so remember to take care of yourselves, take care of others, so that you can continue to make life better for those that we serve. So let's one last round of applause. But before we do that, Courtney is there with the camera, and he will stay and take photos. So please stay, mingle, have some light refreshments, and get some photos if you want with Courtney, if you didn't get the family photo that you wanted up here. But that's all for the ceremony. Thank you all so much for coming.